Hello Stampers, and welcome to session 3 of your holiday staycation. If this looks a little bit different than what you saw on the Zoom, that's because it did not record. Can you believe that? I can. Unfortunately, I hit the camera button and not the record button. You know, it was 5 buttons over, so far away. But anyways, I do want you to take a look at the Sale-a-Bration and the Occasions catalog with me. So what you have, Sale-a-Bration is different this year. In the past, it has been for 3 months, January, February, and March. Well, now it is only for 2 months. It is January and February. So the good news is we will have 2 celebrations this year. We have the January, February, which will focus on stamp sets and designer paper because they are manufactured in the US. Stampin' Up! Makes their own stamp sets, and we don't have to fight trying to get, a few of our products are manufactured overseas, so we don't have to conflict with the Chinese New Year or with the shipping problems. Hopefully everything will be seamlessly smooth for January and February. And then in July and August, we will have a second celebration. And I think that probably will focus more on embellishments and other, I'm sure, stamp sets. But again, it's for 2 months, but it's really nice, I think, to break it up into 2 different sessions and both coincide with new catalogs. You have the mini catalog, which is going to go live January 5th with Sale-a-Bration. And then in August, you will have what I call the holiday mini catalog, but it will really be the August through December catalog. So real quick, to refresh your memory, with Sale-a-Bration, you have this catalog here, and I can't show you the inside, but all of you should have it. And basically, for every $50 that you spend or every $100 that you spend, 2 of the items in there are $100, and I'll show you, you get free product, which is wonderful. So that is when you place an order. If you decide to host a party or collect orders from your friends, whenever you place $300 in orders, you get the Punch Party stamp set, which is on page 17 of the catalog, absolutely free. Now, in addition to that, you still get your hostess benefits. You get 12% of your sales, so that definitely racks up to some good money. You get free merchandise, plus the hostess set, plus keep in mind, $300, you would either get 6 Sale-a-Bration items, or you could get the 2 $100 items and 2 more $50 items. So it's the best time of the year to earn free merchandise. Now, if you join Stampin' Up, a lot of people join because they want to be happy shoppers, and I do have the most wonderful team of happy shoppers. We have Facebook Lives every Wednesday. I share creativity with them. Just an amazing bunch of ladies. But when you join Stampin' Up, you purchase their starter kit for you purchase $125 in product, select $125 in product, and only pay $99. So your shipping is free. So that right there is a great deal because you can select items from the new catalog for your $125. But in addition to that, Stampin' Up is going to give you 5 packs of designer series paper. Now on page 18, it says 6, but what it is, they are 6x6 packs of designer series paper, 48 sheets in each, and you would have the brights, the regals, the subtles, and the neutrals. But in addition to that, you would have both years of the in colors. And this is actually in the annual catalog that will start in June. So you're even getting a jump on that catalog. So in addition to all the savings, you get those 5 packs of designer series paper for joining Stampin' Up. So if you have any questions at all on that, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. So quickly, I am going to go through and show you some of the items that you can get for free with Stampin' Up. On page 3, you have the Paper Blooms Designer Series paper. And it is a beautiful paper. And it has floral on one side with the circles. Love the Night of Navy, the Rococo Rose, soft sea foam. You have, of course, 2 of each of those patterns, but then when you flip it over, you know you always have more options. So this is the other designer series paper on the other side. So with a $50 order, you can get the Paper Blooms designer series paper for free. So next you have on page 4 this really cute Darling Donkeys. And this is a fun stamp set. And I have even seen this little guy. He was floating up. He had a string tied to his tail with a balloon, and it was a birthday card. So with a $50 purchase, you too can get the Darling Donkeys for free. Now I don't have everything in here, but I think I did a pretty good job. There's a stamp set called Approaching Perfection on page 6. But then on page 7, you have the Oh So Ombre Designer Series paper. And this is beautiful paper. It actually comes in Granny Apple Green, Rococo Rose, Blackberry Bliss, and Bermuda Bay, but you get 12 sheets of each. So that's the Blackberry Bliss. That is your Rococo Rose, and it is gorgeous. That is your Bermuda Bay, one of my most favorite colors because it goes with so many other great colors. And then Granny Apple Green. So you get 12 of those sheets, 48 sheets of this designer paper it's free with a $50 order. Next, there is a stamp set that I really liked. It's called Heal Your Heart. And I thought it was a beautiful set. It's kind of hard to see what the words say in the catalog, but it says, "We are in this together. I can't promise to always fix your problems, but I can promise you won't ever face them alone. Sorry for your loss. I don't know what I would do without you. Thank you, and wishing I could heal your heart." Some really great sayings in here. So with a minimum $50 order, you could get the Heal Your Heart for free. Now this designer paper I thought was a lot of fun. It was beautiful. This is on page 10, and it's called Flower and Field Designer Series paper. So here you have, I love how the black, these flowers pop on it. Love these daisies. So again, 2 sheets of these 6 sheets, designs, and of course, you know, they're double-sided. Love, love, love this. And Poppy Parade with Bumblebee in white and black just really is striking. And then, of course, the opposite side. As you know, you have to have options with Stampin' Up's designer series paper. This pack here, you can get free with a $50 order. And so it's 2 sheets of each of those, so that's 12 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. Now, when you place a $100 order, you can actually get a touch of ink. So the touch of ink is a stamp set. It's a 2-step stamping, and there's 17 pieces in this stamp set. It is photopolymer, so you could see through. So you could actually stamp the flowers, the leaves, the hummingbird, or the butterfly, and color them in with your blends or your watercolor pencils, your markers, or you could 2-step stamp them. So this would be the solid ink to go on the butterfly, the flowers, just like that. So you could really make a quick, cute card. And this, again, is a touch of ink on page 12. Now this one, this I had my eye on right from the start. With the $100 order, you can earn the Berry Blessing stamp set for free along with the 12 by 12 designer series paper. So Berry Blessings is really cute, and this does coordinate with the Sweet Strawberry bundle that's in the mini catalog that I'll show you. So you have this stamp set, and then you have these absolutely gorgeous designer papers. I'm not sure how much justice this video is doing to the colors, but they are just striking in person. I could wallpaper a wall with this. Now, with these strawberries, I do believe the punch matches the strawberries, and you could punch them out. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm pretty sure I held it up to it. This would be the other wall I would wallpaper. Gorgeous with my blueberries. And then on the back side, again, gorgeous colors for you to create with. Stampin' Up, I just think by far has the industry on the designer series paper. Very pretty. So those are the Sale-a-Bration items that I have. Again, keep in mind Sale-a-Bration is only 2 months. So if you want, you can send me your order and I'll get it in on January 5th right away when Sale-a-Bration starts. Or if you want to take advantage of the starter kit, let me know, because you can always sign up as a hobbyist. Get that 125 in product and only pay $99. You get the 5 packs of 6x6 designer series paper. And then in addition to that, you will be able to purchase for yourself at a discount. Because you know the products just keep getting better and better. So speaking of that, let's slide on over to the mini catalog. So this, I don't know why they call it a mini catalog, because it's 91 pages. I honestly remember back in the day when it was an 8-page catalog, and that's what I would call a mini catalog. So really, it's called the January through June 2021 mini catalog. That's what they want to call it. That's what we'll call it. Now, one of the items in there, this is on page 23. And again, I can't show you what's inside the catalog. I'm a little tired, so I don't know if I have already, but I don't think I have. But they had an early release in November. So this was called the Quite Curvy Bundle. And what it was the Quite Curvy stamp set with the curvy dies. So in November, and actually you can now purchase it up till January 4th, you do have to get this as a bundle. You cannot purchase the dies separately. But this carried over into the catalog, that January through June mini catalog, and it is on page 23. And at that time, you could purchase them separately if you wanted to. But this is available for purchase now for everyone, not just demonstrators. But the other thing that was nice is they had what was called the Classic Christmas 6x6 Designer Series paper and the Curvy Christmas stamp set. So both of these coordinated with the Quite Curvy bundle, but these 2 items are only available until January 4th. So if you want these items, you really need to get them now. This is what the paper looks like. It is a classic Christmas. It's a shaded spruce, Sahara sand, cherry cobbler, whisper white. So you have all these designs in the 3 colors. And again, that's 48 sheets that are 6x6. And then going back to the dies, these are what the dies look like. So the dies actually cut the stamped images from the Quite Curvy stamp set. And then you get these gorgeous, gorgeous curvy dies that make a great border. So I had a couple cards here. I can't find my patriotic one. I will find that. All these are also on my card is anyways, the Creating with Colleen Facebook page. But here's a couple of them. This uses the Christmas Designer Series paper along with the Curvy Christmas stamp set. So may your days be merry and bright. This was gorgeous by using the Just Jade. What a gorgeous green that is. And the cherry cobbler. So they took the branches and just went along the curve. That is the Christmas paper diagonal. Thought that was a very neat accent. And then of course a little bell and some of the ribbon. And then here, I think Joyce Farraco did this one. This is gorgeous because it has the gold foil along the curve and she's stamped in between. So I thought that was just beautiful. So that is the Quite Curvy. Now, one of the other things that we have, Stampin' Up! Actually had to have all of their events virtually this year, as you can imagine, due to COVID. So we were supposed to go to On Stage at Salt Lake City in November, and that didn't happen. But they did a fantastic job of bringing it to us 3 days online, showing us new products, giving us classes to teach us. Stampin' Up! Really is a top-notch company. So on page 27, we have what's called the Dragonfly Garden. And this is actually a stamp set with some nice sayings and the dragonflies and some flowers in it. And it has a coordinating punch. So we were able to purchase that, and then we could make projects at this on stage event. My dirty pad is driving me nuts. Hold on. Let me grab a piece of my paper. I had one. I'm going to show you how I did this mess in a little bit. Okay. So here, one of my uplines, Melissa Ellis, made this. It was a gift card with a little Starbucks card in it. So my gift card was to fit there. And then the wings would come through this little opening. And this is some of the designer paper that is also in that suite. This was one of the cards that Stampin' Up! Had us do with them. So we used 3 squares of the designer paper, stamped the floral image, and again, put our little dragonfly over here. Here was one that we made, and I love the little ladybug embellishments. But basically, this is your card, and we just took some of the strips of designer paper. Great way to use your designer paper strips when you're putting things on here, because we all have those little strips left over. Now, I had not bought this suite, so I borrowed it from somebody. I said, hey, let me stamp a bunch of these little sayings because I love it. May good things grow all year long. And then the dragonfly punch. So, and the only reason I didn't get it, I really like it. The only reason I didn't was because I was kind of holding out, waiting to see what would be in the mini catalog. And I knew plenty of my friends had this. But this is actually using the Forever Fern designer paper out of the annual catalog. And I just think it worked very, very well with the dragonfly bundle. Here is one. Using the Misty Moonlight paper. That's one of the colors in the designer paper. Our little dragonfly. Thank you for your kindness. And then this here actually uses their designer paper. Just a couple strips of it. You can really make your designer paper go a long ways with that card. So let me see what else I have in here. This was a set on page 28. That I really liked. It's called Happy Thoughts. And when you sell $1 million with Stampin' Up, you actually get to design your own stamp set. So Jackie Bolheist designed this. And I like it a lot because a lot of people say they don't have sayings to go inside the card. And I think this gives you great sentiments for the front and also for the inside. So it says, today is great because it's all about you. The great person you are, the great things that you do. I would hope we all know somebody we could use that for. Just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. And the little things you do so well and so often make a difference in so many people. So I think, you know, nowadays, especially after this year, but even any day, people need encouragement. And I think getting a card with some of those sayings would certainly be an encouragement to someone. Now, the suites I'm going to show you, let me just show you this here. And then I have 2 suites that I'm going to share with you some of the products. So on page 44, we have the Sweet Strawberry. And that, again, is a bundle. And it has a coordinating punch. And then the stamp set. So the punch matches the little tops to these strawberries, the little flowers, the strawberry, and then the bigger leaves. So you can punch a lot of these out and make a card really quick, really cute. And this coordinates with that Sale-a-Bration set in that gorgeous designer paper for the Just Berry stamp set. So the 2 suites that I want to share with you today is, first one is on page 40 and 41, and it's called Sand and Sea. So if you go to page 42, you can actually see the stamp set, and it is a huge set. So it has 23 photopolymer stamps. Let me grab that and show you this all to you. Again. Okay. So the stamp set itself, I really liked because I love the sayings. And of course, living on the coast, you have to love your seashells. And I thought these were beautiful. You always hear people say, love you to the moon and back. Well, we love you to the beach and back. Friends are like seashells. You collect them along the way. happy birthday to my beautiful friend. And then you can just make any collage of all the seashells that you like. So this stamp set coordinates with the dies. So you can actually see the dies. Let me see where they have them here. Still on page 42. And when I first saw the dies, I didn't quite understand it. Because, you know, I get this part. Look at right here. That's what comes with the dies. So you have this very large die, which is this. That I wasn't so sure about, but boy, did they sell me after I saw how to use it. Then you have your individual dies to cut out your seaweed, I guess that's seaweed, your shells, and different things. So those are all, right here, those are all individual dies. Well, what was so cool was with the stamps, you see you still have all these seashells in here. With this die alone, it cuts out all of these shells. So this is like having not only the big die, but 5 more dies to cut your shells. And all you would do is stamp them on a piece of cardstock, layer it on here, and then just run it through your die cutting machine. And when you do that, you actually get a couple little pieces that come around it, but you just snip those off with your scissors and you get these pieces here. Let me see if my plates are handy and I can show you what I mean. Okay, maybe not. We have had a full day. If you were not here with us, we have had a very full day. And the original video that I did of the catalog tour, I think was over an hour. And unfortunately, I hit the camera button and not the record button. So we're taking 2 right now because I get to start my weekend when we are done with this. But anyways, what I was saying is when this cuts it out, you might have some pieces, just snip those little pieces, come around, and it cuts out all these shapes. This piece does. Now, what I thought was pretty genius was that with Stampin' Up, if you have, I've already stamped it, but if you had this piece here and it was just the main piece, so it would look like this. That's how it would look like. Then you can actually stamp the seashells on here, which I thought was awesome. So again, it shows you one more way to use that. Then you have this beautiful seashell 3D embossing folder. So with the folder, you can actually emboss an image and you can have a background, you can have your words on here. So it works as a 3D folder, but guess what? This shape here fits into here. So it's the exact same shape. When I did the first video, I ran it through the Big Shot. And now all of these, I don't know if you can see it, but the texture is there and they are embossed. So now these shells tend to pop up off of this background and you still have all this gorgeous greenery in the back. Or seaweed. Seaweed just doesn't sound attractive, but that's what it is. So the other thing that they have in this suite, this is a folder. I'm still going to show you something with that in a minute. But you have the Opal Rounds. So with the Opal Rounds, you can color these with blends. And you have these beautiful shimmery pearl-like accents that you can put on your card. Then you have this amazing pearlescent designer paper. Well, it's not really designer paper. They call it a pearlescent specialty paper. They also have a regular designer paper. And at first I didn't purchase it because I didn't know if I was crazy about the blue shells and the yellow shells. Well, I ordered it the other day because what I did not have the foresight to see was the other side of those designer papers. It's a watercolor muted look, so it's a perfect background to have behind your die cut piece. So why I just don't order the whole suite at one time, I'll never learn, but actually I think I did learn this time because now I know that too, the regular designer paper is a must. But here's what I wanted to show you on this pearlescent paper. First of all, it is gorgeous. Now you can stamp on here, but they just recommend letting it dry for a little bit because this does kind of have a coating on it. It's not like a porous cardstock that we normally have where your ink would soak in. But again, what I love about it is the fact that this fits right into this folder, this entire image. So I am going to just run this through my die cut machine and show you how gorgeous it is. Cut that out. Not cut it out, but emboss it. And then when I bring it back and I pull it out, these seashells honestly just came to life. I don't know if you can see that. But the pearlescent is gorgeous. Again, when you run it through, whether you stamped your images or whether you just use the embossing folder, all of this comes to life. And it is absolutely gorgeous. So I was very impressed with the way all of these work together. And now I know the many, many uses of this large die because it does coordinate with the folder and it also cuts out the additional 5 shells. So you will be seeing more from me. I had promised on my Wednesday Facebook Live that I would do Christmas treats. I will confess it's kind of hard to think of Christmas once I have dipped my fingers into this catalog, but definitely in January, you will be seeing lots of samples on different projects that I'm creating with this. So the other suite that I wanted to show you is on page 32 and 33, and that is called the Fine Art Floral. So this suite is quite amazing in itself also. I love the art gallery. I love the look of the stamp set. And again, this too is a 2-step stamping. So you can have one color flower plus this stamped on top. Plus you have the dies that cut out the words. And there's also, in these dies, there is also words that just say, just want to say. So you have this big, this is on page 34. Just want to say, happy birthday. Just want to say, I miss you. Just want to say, I'm thinking of you. Just want to say sorry. So this, again, I think is a stamp set that you will get a lot of mileage out of. Even though I'm sure you already have floral sets, I loved the art gallery. So again, for 10%, if you get the bundle, you save 10% on the actual stamp set and the die. Now the paper that comes in this suite, once again, amazing. So this is called Fine Art Floral Designer Paper. And it is actually, it looks like it was an oil painting. And if I'm not mistaken, they actually painted this. And then that's how they took the copies for the designer paper. So I'm going to show you the sheets real quick. And that, gorgeous colors. I think my paper is upside down. We have the flowers here. Beautiful, beautiful. This I absolutely love. This slate gray with these, I mean, it just looks like it's an oil painting. And then this beautiful blue. And then on the back side, you have the different, it's like a painted texture. It's exactly what it is. They are painted textures that you can use. Now the fun part is, on this designer paper, this sheet here, I'll be showing this again in January, how you cut it. You can get 6 cards out of here. So if you cut it at 4 inches and 4 inches, and then 5 1/4, 5 1/4, you can vary how you want to cut that. You are going to get 6 cards out of this paper. Couple that with a sentiment or a piece of ribbon, and you have some gorgeous cards. Now, in addition to that, you also have the Golden Garden Designer Specialty Acetate. So that is 3 sheets in this pack. And what is so cool is this piece of acetate right here couples right on top of this designer paper. So now each one of these flowers is outlined in gold. So I don't know how well you can see that, but there's your paper. There's your acetate. So there again, if you want that look, 6 cards out of both of those sheets. Absolutely beautiful. Then you also get 2 other designs of the acetate. This is one with the flowers. And then you have a nice design. And a lot of people I've seen putting this as a strip in the middle of the card with a different color cardstock underneath. And then in addition to that, you have the Painted Textures embossing folder. So with the Painted Texture embossing folder, it is just that. And I can't say enough about the 3D folders, the depth of them. So this is just embossed on a regular folder. And then this one is actually embossed on Whisper White. So in addition to that, they have this beautiful ribbon. And so this is the Fine Art ribbon. It's a 3/8 inch thick and it's 10 yards. So I like it because I'm sure being a neutral color, you could probably color it with your blends, but it also has the gold tint in it that you can use on your card, and it's going to go great with this entire suite. Now, one of the other things Stampin' Up! Came out with, whoops, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me show you one more thing. This is fun. We have what's called Gilded Leafing. So that is also in this suite on page 33. And it is basically this Gilded Leafing. It is light as a feather, but you can use it to, it's like a gold foil on your cards. So one of the ways to use it is we have what's called heat and stick powder. If you look on page, let me see an example here. If you look on page 34, they have taken this flower and they stamped it. Then they took this and we have what's called heat and stick. So heat and stick is like an embossing powder. You're going to stamp on it with Versamark, put this powder on there and heat it up, and it stays tacky. So this Gilded Leafing sticks to it. Basically, to use the leafing, you just need something that's it's gonna stick to. So another thing you could do is I had a friend who actually took one of the, like this one here. Here I stamped and then I embossed it with these shells. But what she did is she took a Tombow liquid glue, she put it on a craft mat and just dabbed in certain places and then put that leafing on there, and that's all it sticks to. So you can use it with Tombow liquid glue. Now what I did here is I actually used tear and strip. It's a tape. I like it because of course it's just going to be a certain width, and I put it all around the edge of my designer paper, and then I used the leafing on there. And you know, I'll show you how I did it, put it on, but again, just something sticky. But what I love about this is instead of using the gold foil paper, I have this edge, and all I have used is that gold leafing. So let me show you how I did that real quick. I did this for the first video that we did, but on the second, I'm just going to put it across the top so you can see what I'm talking about. So for that edge, I will just put it on the top here. Oops. I do want to get on the edge. And again, this is my tear and strip, tear and tape, because I can tear it, but I'm actually going to cut it because I want it right on that edge. So the way I did the card that I just showed you was I put my tear and tape on my designer paper all the way around. So I did just like that. And then I can take my pick a tool and just pick up the paper because the tape is down. So what I did is I did that on all four sides. Now when you open this, don't do it under a ceiling fan because it is light as a feather. And it seems like when you open it, it just grows. It's just the thinnest foil. It's so cool. So I'm going to take where my tape is. I'm going to put it in my foil. And it always reminds me of like an ostrich. I always kind of think, wow, that's pretty cool. Maybe we could just leave it like that. It looks like a party dress or something. But what I do is I just take a half a sponge and just rub that off. And I put it, of course, right back into my container because I'm going to make sure I can use it again. But when you're talking about embossing, which is a great technique, or, you know, again, saving on the designer paper, you have the option of putting this foil down anywhere you have your glue. So we will definitely be exploring this in the new year. But that is all I would do on the four sides. It's really that easy, and it's really a lot of fun. And I had told them when I opened this, it's almost like the more you pour out, the more it grows. It's crazy stuff. So this is all part of the art gallery suite that we have here. So the last thing that I wanted to show you is we have, I think Malvern said it was on page 80. Let me see. Nope, maybe it was page 70. I thought it ended in a 0. Yep, page 70. We have what's called the blending brushes. So you get 3 brushes, and they are the softest brushes that you would ever use. It has a velvety head. So this is kind of taking the place of our sponges. Now you can sponge, but a lot of times when you do, you have the texture of the sponge, or if your finger hits it, your finger goes through the sponge. This is, I mean, it is as soft as it can be. So you're going to get a beautiful, very light, soft effect. So I don't know, they said you can wash them, but I know they hold water for a long time. My goal, I'm just going to get 2 packs. They come 3 to a pack. So I'll have all my blues for one. I'll have like my reds for one, green for one. And whenever you use this, you do want to work from light to dark. So I'm just going to, this is Coastal Cabana. I dab it off. And you just kind of give, let me see here. I come in light. I'm just picking up some of this texture that is in this gorgeous folder up in my corner. And you decide how much or how little you want on here. Now, I have a microfiber cloth, and that seems to get the ink off really well. So I just put, I don't know if you can see that, some of the lighter Coastal Cabana on there. And then I can take, if I wanted to, I'm going to like lighter to dark, it's not a problem. But my microfiber cloth and rub that, and I can actually go into the Bermuda Bay. So then I can just come in here on this edge and get a little bit more of that blue in there. So this is something that I will be playing with. I just used them today at the first video, but I really like them a lot because they're very soft, and I think you're going to get just a really beautiful sponging effect without getting the texture of the sponge. And then just rub it on your microfiber, and that will now be my blues. So that's pretty much what I have to show you from the catalog. I still have a lot of favorites in there, but I have to pace myself. I still have to focus on Christmas, which is going to be very hard to do right now because I really want to play with the new products. But I just want to thank you so much for being a part of my holiday staycation. It's been a very full day. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you like the products. I am going to send a survey out when I send you this link, and I really would appreciate you giving me your feedback, because having to do business differently going forward, I want to do it the best I can. And your constructive criticism would be a big help in helping me do that. So stay tuned. Hopefully I will be having some monthly classes again. It will not be a staycation. This is like the big holiday. We can take mini trips, but this was a big one. So I will have monthly classes. You can catch me live on my Creating with Colleen Facebook page every Wednesday at noon. Please sign up for my newsletter if you don't already receive it, but chances are you do because you took this class. And most of all, just let me know how I can help you in any way in all that you are creating. So may God bless you all. If I don't talk to you, have a very Merry Christmas and a safe and blessed New Year. Happy stamping.